Hey guys, today we are going to see about configuration of static NAT and dynamic NAT. First, let's see what does a NAT stands for. NAT stands for a network address translation. It is a method of remapping one IP address space into another by modifying network addresses information in Internet Protocol datagram packet headers while they are in transit across a traffic routing device. The technique was originally used for ease of rerouting traffic in IP networks without readdressing every host. It has become a popular and essential tool in conserving global address space allocation in face of IPv4 address accession by sharing one internet routable IP address of a NAT gateway for an entire private network. Therefore, there are two types of methods for implementing a NAT. They are static NAT and dynamic NAT. But simply, let's just see what's the main difference between dynamic and static NAT. Dynamic NAT it's also more similar like a static NAT, but it is not common in smaller networks, but is found within large corporations with complex networks. The way dynamic NAT differ from static NAT is that where static NAT provide a one-to-one internal to public static IP address mapping, dynamic NAT doesn't make the mapping to the public IP address static and usually uses a group of available public IP addresses. So I hope you have got the basic idea about the difference between static and dynamic NAT. So let's go for our topology configuration. This is an topology diagram for static NAT, and we have configured in our packet tracer. And some of the important commands which we want to give for static NAT is this main thing is this one, which is IP NAT inside source static, and the IP address for which the IP address should be converted into an translation, network address translation. That is, this web service has the network address of 10.0.0.2, which while if any other PC or which any other devices outside the network, if for example this PC is trying to access this web server, means this 10.0.0.2 will be available as 50.0.0.1 for the devices outside the networks. And after giving that command, we have to give IP NAT inside traffic or outside traffic, will be depending upon the different interfaces, and this configuration for another router, which is a basic common thing. So now let's check ping the from PC to 50.0.1, because we already know that this web server will be automatically translated into 50.0.1. So ping 50.0.0.1. Let's take a while. Here we can see that we have got a successful ping between the PC2 and server when we ping with just 50.0.1. Now let's try with the original address, ping 10.0.0.2. It simply says destination host unreachable, that which shows that the static NAT, the IP address of the web server is not directly available to the devices outside the networks, whereas it is just translated to some other networks. So this is the static NAT, how does a static NAT work, and this is the dynamic NAT topology diagram. And here it given and just like an access list, we will be creating an access list to permit the access to the all the devices outside the network, and similarly we will giving a pool address, like we have given a 5 IP address to that router, and this router will allocate each and every IP address to the devices. It will automatically allocated instead of like in static NAT, where we will be giving 10.0.0.2 with 50.0.1. So we will just have created a pool which contains as a group set of many IP addresses, and once we have created the pool, we will be allocating it to the different interfaces and also inside traffic or outside traffic. And similarly, it's a configuration for another router. And now let's check for the ping in the dynamic NAT. Ping 20.0.0.2. As you can see, the ping between the PC, and even though we have given the 20.0.0.2, this will be available as a different this IP address for all those routers devices which are outside this network. Even though we have given a poll, but basically this devices which are outside the network only know the real network IP address of this instead of the pooled network address. So using a dynamic NAT, we can even if you know the IP address of the device, we can easily able to access it. And there are some debugging commands which we have done already and took the screenshot. As you can see here, it's a debugging command for IP NAT debugging and so on, which means it is mainly used in the dynamic NAT only. And IP NAT debugging, if it is debugging is on, means see it's 192.168.0.7 is converted into 50.0.1, and each and every line shows that this IP address is converted to this one, this IP address is converted to this one, this. So that's how a dynamic NAT works, and this is how both this is how the configuration of static NAT and dynamic NAT takes place. Thank you.